All right. Well, the good news is we do have our roster set up as we showcased. I'm still pretty happy with how it's looking. I am going to try to run with control, the automation off, get rid of the WBC, right? I am going to try to run with automation off, and we'll see where we end up, and if it just ends up being too damn annoying to want to continue it. But lineup-wise, I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy lineup-wise with how we're looking, especially with Baez at DH. Again, Martinez now there. I think we could go a long way. It has us as the #1 team in spring training. Once we get through spring training, is that still the case? Yes, it is. So they project us to be the top team in baseball. However, this division features the 6th team, the 4th team, the 3rd team, and the 10th team. The group of death. Fun, fun, fun. The fun never ends. In terms of top prospects, Eddie Pinero is still way, way up there, which is beautiful. He's now the 3rd best prospect in baseball. Bobby Pack and the Royals, who got Derek Kwan. They're going to put him in single A for a season. Jesus. Those poor grocery store baggers. Baez, the #15 prospect in baseball. Bob Conklin's #17. Rob Spoon, who we drafted last year. Spoon Man. Debuts at #20. We have Danny Coronado, currently at 23. Ellis Betts at 24. Earl Laird at 33. Sammy Coley. Shout out to Make My Farts Bloody, sir. Now, how do you suggest I do that? A couple of ways came to mind. I can just repeatedly knee you in the stomach, or we could there could be more penetration involved. Anyway, that is it for us in terms of top prospects this season. I don't think we have anything else left to do. I don't think we do. The lineup should be fine. It has Chen in instead of Baez. Let's not do that. Did I want to leave Acevedo? Did I want to leave Acevedo there? I think I did. Endo, what's up? 2, 3. Someone in AAA got hurt. I think we're okay. I think we're okay to just have Acevedo there. Make sure Baez is hitting second in the other lineup. I mean, it's not a requirement, but I guess we could. I don't know where we'd want Marcelo hitting. 6th is probably fine. If not 7th. The other lineup has him in 8th. Interesting. Might actually get a real job and slave away at data entry. Make the big bucks want to die inside, but be able to afford. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's life, right? Like, hey, do you want to kind of like what you do, or do you want to not like what you do, but you get to pay bills? That's how it works. Capitalism, baby. Anyway, let's get this season started. AAA auto-fix their lineup. We're going to be doing that a lot. A lot. Ha, a real job, right? Now, in terms of scouting, we made the playoffs last year. We only have $5 million in allotment money with the 23rd pick. We do not have the 2nd pick because we signed Martinez. So we will take probably the same approach as we did last year and just do generalized scouting. I think is the way to go. In terms of prioritizing what we need, we don't need catchers. We don't really need a project first baseman. Like, we don't need anything specifically. Second base, we're young. I think we'll prioritize pitchers first. Maybe. Tough call. Yeah, I think we'll prioritize pitchers first. #1 priorities, scouting positions. Violent Edge is packing everything, man. Starting pitcher East. Oops. Starting pitcher. Okay, nope, these are in the correct or incorrect order. Starting pitcher West. Starting pitcher Central. And and starting pitcher East. Beautiful. Center field. How dare you insinuate that our center fielder's not good enough, sir? Violent Edge. I hate you. Stop it. Not a great start to the season. Not great. It's early, though. Let's go ahead and look at international starting pitchers. Let's look at Western relievers. And let's look at central relievers. Beautiful. All right, a little bit over 500. Not the worst. Not the worst. Could definitely be better. Let's see. We're going to relievers. We're going to Eastern. International. And we will look at Western closers. Let's see. There we go. Anton Vasquez. Hey, good. Tampa finally traded that closer that has been ruining my life for season after season. So that's great. Thank God he's finally gone. 13-9. 15-5, Baltimore. Jesus. Scouting relievers worth it, but most starters or closers could be moved there. Yes. Yes, it could be. Especially, too, because those starters that you're talking about often get drafted in the first round, when it's the closers, relievers go to the second and third round. My thoughts, at least. Let's see. Closer. Central. Closer. Eastern. And closer. International. In terms of position players, I have no idea what the fuck we're going to do. No idea. No idea. But we are 18-10. Tied for the top record in this division with Tampa. Trade Ishida for CJ Cron and Brandon Woodruff in my fantasy baseball. I mean, you made the right choice. Although, whew, that's buying in. That's a pretty heavy buy-in on your part. From here, let's just start looking. Let's just start looking. We did generalized pitching scouting. We have pick number 23. Let's, oh, shout out to Connie Frederick, if our scouts are right. Let's just start looking. Why not? At least off of the top 100. Seeing who might be worth it. I mean, then again, you could argue a lot of these guys might not be there, but then again, they might be. With the way the AI conduct themselves, let's just start looking at random goddamn people. Why not? Violent Edge needs to stop. Let's just start looking. Center, left, and shortstop. We are just going to look at some random, gosh darn dang people. We'll auto-fix the AAA lineup. 23-12. And we are only a half game up on the Rays, and they're the ones with the game at hand. Oh, Tampa. You are just going to be a massive pain in the ass, aren't you? Let's look at Anthony Garcia. Again, given where we are right now, our job in a draft... Woodrow Butler, former president. Our job right now is to just find Brad Schmidt. Information on anybody that we can to just get the best draft possible. Catcher, center first. Go with that little dealio. An okay week. Not the best one. Whoops! And that's why I normally go to Saturday. Well, hey, we're going to scout those guys again. We just missed out on the week of scouting. GG's. And at least we know Anthony Garcia's trash. Bill Ullman. As opposed to Bill Pullman. I mean, we have generalized info on a lot of people. Let's look at Luis Salazar. Oh, my God. Violent Edge. I'm about to get violent with you. Stop packing shit. Anybody else who's interesting? Anybody under 20%? There we go. Let's go for Eric Perez. First baseman and left field. See what we can do there. See what we can do. 34 and 18. Couple of minor league injuries. Johnny McMahon is almost finally back, which is nice. I fucking did it again. Whoops. Well, this is shaping up to be our worst draft possible. This is shaping up to be a garbage draft for us. Because I, for some reason tonight, am in the habit of hitting the wrong goddamn button. Honestly, dude, Violent Edge, I am going to stab you. Bill Patel definitely stays in the lineup. Baez is hitting 252 as a DH. I don't hate that. Pressing buttons is hard. It is. Just trying to make progress. We're 40 and 18. I'm just going to continue to sim because oh my God, Luis Salazar. I'm honestly just afraid to mess with the team. I'm trying to keep myself busy. Because if I start messing with the team, you know what's going to happen. I will make us better, but in making us better, I will technically make us worse. So that is what I am trying to avoid. Let's see. 2 starters and a closer. 2 starters and a closer. Still 34 days out from the draft. Why is it when we don't have to care about the draft as much, it feels like we have way more time? What's up with that? It's like, oh, you have people that you're desperately trying to look at? Well, guess what? No time at all. But here, I'm just like, I don't even care how the draft goes. And the game's like, all right, cool. Hey, it'll just make it feel like time's not moving at all. Have fun. Have fun. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you. Let's see, another week. We swept Colorado. We struggled a bit against New York, but they bounced back too. Week 12 of 14. Our scouts really like old Sam Cash. Don't know if he'll be available when we get there, but hey, we'll see. Let's see. Zeke Hearn. Look at you. Let's look at Jose Fernandez. I mean, you can't go wrong with a starting pitcher named Jose Fernandez. Just don't let him own a boat. Let's see. Orioles offer us a trade. Get out of here. All right. 55 and 23. How does interest work? The more interested someone is, the more likely they are to take a deal with you and to sign for less. Snipe and score. How the heck are you? Okay. Let's see. 2 weeks left. We've taken the generalized scouting approach. What do we want to do? Is it random initially? Yes. Floor hockey? Hey. I wish I could play organized floor hockey. I do. Damon Crowley. Mr. Crowley. Someone. Oh my God, Luis Salazar, though. Still loves him. Oh, Barry Beard. Starter right in first. Oops. Barry Beard. Goodness. All right. Final week. Oh my God. That team organizational depth chart looks amazing, by the way. Final week. Our team. Let's go with the top guys that might be available with our first pick. That is probably the best way to go about this. So dudes that might be available when we select. Who the hell was that guy? Oh, he's older. That's why. Go off of MLB rank. We're picking at 23. Who do our scouts really like? Bernardo Valido. We'll take a look at him. And let's take a look at Jose Fernandez. So 2 starters and a first baseman. Beautiful. And can we knock another draft out of the park because it's baseball? 2033. I never thought we'd get to this draft, but here we go. Our team's looking great. We are on playoff pace, to say the absolute least. Cincinnati. Oh my God, poor Cincy, man. They lose their starting second baseman, the generational talent, to us. And now they're right back with the first pick. The Mets and Cleveland as well. Multiple championships for them in this franchise, but they are finally back down at the basement. So Cincinnati has a #1 overall selection, and they use it to take Bob Quinones. You can do that. I don't know if it'll work for you, but you can do that. 40th ranked starting pitcher goes first overall. The New York Mets. The New York Mets take a stocky fella. Catcher Julio Dova, who was projected 78th. And he goes second overall. Cleveland with the 3rd overall pick. A lot of off-the-board picks so far. Cleveland takes Cash. Sam Cash, who our scouts liked quite a lot too. Starting pitcher Sam Cash goes 3rd overall. What a weird start to this draft, huh? I mean, if we see more picks like this, we will have somebody good to take at 23. Again, reminder, we don't have a 2nd-round pick. San Francisco takes center fielder Jonas Marquez, who was projected 2nd. Our scouts had him as a little bit of a risky pick, but San Fran doesn't go off the board. Kevin Olson goes 5th to Colorado. First baseman was projected 13th. They took him 5th. Our scouts wouldn't have recommended that. Pittsburgh takes first baseman Brad Schmidt, who was projected 14th. Our scouts had him at 39th. The Chicago White Sox take catcher Johnny Boone, 7th overall. He was projected 75th. This is by far the most absurd first round we've seen yet, and we've seen some tough ones. Houston takes starting pitcher Jose Fernandez with the 8th pick. He was projected 18th. Toronto at 9 gets left fielder Ricky Murphy. He was projected 6th, so a good pick for them. Kansas City at 10 gets starting pitcher Bill Ullman, also known as the Bullman. Good pick for them. Arizona takes starting pitcher Robbie Taylor, pretty much right around where he was projected to go. Minnesota takes starting pitcher Richard Campanella, who was projected 33rd and is injured. Oakland takes, Oakland. I thought we might get him. Oakland takes first baseman Luis Salazar. He was projected 20th. Our scouts viewed him as the best player in the draft. They took him 10 picks early, the bastards. Damn it. Another reach there for Philadelphia. Washington, not so much, but Estevan Leon goes 15th. The Yankees at 16 take starting pitcher Thomas Benitez. He's projected 26th. Looks like he's going to have a phenomenal potential, but he's 22. If that overall is low, it's a big yikes. Baltimore takes starting pitcher Tommy Singleton. 15th projected. He goes 17th. As much as Oakland screwed us, Milwaukee might have just as well. Bernardo Valido, the starting pitcher who our scouts really liked, goes 18th. At 19, the Angels take center fielder Woodrow Butler, who was projected top 10. The Dodgers take starting pitcher Corey Silva, who was projected 11th. As Texas takes catcher Anthony Garcia. If our scouts are right, he didn't fall nearly far enough. And that leaves Miami at 22 as they take starting pitcher Brandon McGee, who, yeah, might not be that bad. We'll see. So, we still have a couple of players who our scouts think are top 10. They are all closers, but again, we don't have a second-round pick, so now would be the time to take them. It is Sean Welburn, Roger Ball, Connie Frederick, Dan Molino, Rocco Ross, which is a great name. The next position player is David Chavez. So, no doubt, we're going to look at one of these top options. And, our scouts are pretty certain that Sean Welburn should have been a top 4 talent. The interest is going to be super low. But this is our only shot at one of these closers. Frederick's going to have a great potential, but his starting overall is going to be a little bit lower, given that he's 21 years old. Oh, man. Obviously, with a potential like that, Connie Frederick is very tempting. But if he's 21 and a 55, it's almost not going to matter. I'm going to trust my scouts. They have given us no reason to not trust them. We are going to take closer Sean Welburn. No, we're not. I can't afford Welburn at $5 million. Never mind. We're going to take Connie Frederick because he's the only one that I can afford. I forgot our bonus allotment was that low this year. Shiz. Oh, boy. I'd love to take Ball or Welburn, but I can't afford them. And their interest is way too low, so you know we won't be able to get them for cheap. Connie Frederick, you're the pick because I can't afford anybody else. So let's hope that overall is a little bit higher. We take Connie Frederick in the first round. We go all the way to round number 3, but really quickly. To round out the first round, you had Atlanta taking Damon Crowley. Detroit reaches a bit to take Junior Garcia. David Sanchez off the board. Rocco Ross went 27th. David Pools, great mustache. David Chavez and Eric Lane. And then obviously, you have the competitive balance, round A. The second round, the compensation round, the competitive balance round B, and then you get to the third round, 97th pick of the draft. And given that this is pick number 97, there are two dudes who are scouts, granted didn't look at all that well, but felt confident would be going around this time. Only looked at Jose Caron to a bare minimum extent. We're going to trust our scouts again. Let's go for starting pitcher Owen Haynes. Just trust our scouts at this point. Honestly, I might do an entire franchise like that where we just draft who our scouts say are likely to be good. Pick number 127. It's going to be another starter given the gap between draft rank between 1 and 2. We are going to go for starting pitcher Carlos Santiago. So welcome aboard, Carlos. As well, these guys are cheap. Symphoric, get some sleep. But thank you for saying hello. I hope you're good. Not a huge gap here. I don't like any of these players. Not a single one. Not a single one. So, scouts, we'll just trust you. Sidney McCarty, who might be injured. But whatever. Sydney, welcome aboard. Again, the draft doesn't quite mean as much for us now. It is about playoffs or bust. And Gene Chance, still available. We'll trust our scouts there. We take a lot of relievers, a lot of pitchers, only pitchers, actually, but not the worst case scenario for us given the lack of money that we have. Let's see, home run derby at Petco Park. Mike Martinez going to be in the home run derby. So is Taylor Sinclair, and man, has he developed for the Marlins. Former first overall pick. And Riley Green appears to be having a very good season in Toronto. No real surprise there. No real surprise there. Let's find out who made the All-Star game for us. Oh, baby. Starters, Mike Martinez, Hubert McDonald, and starting pitcher Bob Asensio, who has ascended back to being a starting caliber option. Kumar Rocker made it for the Blue Jays. Hey. Do we have anybody else? Andreas Lorenz makes another All-Star game. Man, we let go of Devin Williams, and he still made an All-Star game. Do we have anybody else? Nick York, former second baseman of ours, made it for Detroit. If Detroit picks up a former player of ours, they always end up being amazing. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Nick Levitt made the All-Star game as an outfielder. Let's go. Nick Levitt. That's what I'm talking about. We had a lot of representation in the All-Star game this year. A ton. All right, so draft pick-wise, this is not going to be pretty. The good thing is, outside of our first round pick, everyone else is pretty damn cheap. It'll give us a chance to scout out. We really need to add the Davos. Let's go. We do. We do indeed. All right. Let's see. Nope, didn't want to look at All-Star voting, although it is beautiful. Our scouts do really still like Connie Frederick. The other two, not so much. Not so much. Bit of a rough stretch for us. We're still 6 games up in the division. Jesus. We'll offer Owen Haynes a deal because who cares? He wants $6.29. I cannot offer him fair value. We'll leave him there. I expect this to be our worst draft ever. But we'll see. All right, Mr. Haynes. I still don't have it as to where I can offer you fair value. I'll offer you a little bit over. And he declines. No real surprise there. All right, Frederick's draft rank did fall a little bit, right? It wasn't 13th before. So he's likely in the 60s for overall. We're going to have a real rough time pulling this off. All right, let's see. Connie Frederick. Can we just get this deal done immediately? Hell yeah, Connie. All right, well, we do get Connie Frederick, which is good. Can we get Owen Haynes? Can we get Owen Haynes? No custom rosters from MLB. I don't know it well enough. I leave that to other people. Gene Chance ends up signing, which is good. Again, even if they're shit, I'm still going to sign them because whatever, I can just cut them. No shit, Sidney McCarty decided to sign with us. So we just got the other two for now. Again, if we get more, if we only end up with like 1D potential player, I'd be shocked. I'm expecting that to be like all we see. Owen signs. That just leaves Santiago as our lone holdout. Today's the trade deadline. I gotta be honest, I can't imagine we would have to do anything given that we're in first. We have the depth overall, especially, I mean, look at that. Michael Mortero. AAA, ready to go. Like, we're fine. We are fine. There is not a thing that we have to worry about. The only thing that could really mess us up maybe is shortstop depth, but man, if we fall apart because a shortstop is struggling, then we weren't going to win anyway. So we're good. Let's find out how good or bad these draft picks happened to be. We got one more day, actually, before San Diego. I did it again. Where it was too early. Connie, you can get all the money left. He said no. Sorry, Carlos. I called you Connie. I'm heartbroken he didn't sign. Now we can do it. How tough are you? How tough are you? He's not very tough. Connie Frederick is fine. 21B and a 61. I mean, hey, 23rd pick. It's not terrible. Not great either. He'll be ready in 4 or 5 years. All right, Owen. Have fun. I hope you have your degree. Or at least that high school diploma. Okay, our scouts had a bit of a rough one. I mean, they didn't have full scouting info, of course. Our scouts had a little bit of a rough one. Gene Chance, 19C and a 55. Okay. As expected, that was our worst draft. Which, again, is perfectly fine. We have plenty of depth. If there was ever a year for a bad draft, this was it. Elsewhere, I gotta be honest. I mean, I'm gonna look through this quickly, but I'm not gonna put too much stock into this because who cares about these other teams? I mean, I do, but I don't. Again, I trust at this point. People know based off of age, overall, and potential, who is a good player and who is a bad player. Tampa got a lot of bad players. He's okay for a C potential because that starting overall is fantastic. Blue Jays, I mean, they got Ricky Murphy, and that was it. So a lot of people seem to have had very bad drafts, including Chicago, who went way off the board for that catcher and absolutely missed. You know, given the circumstances of how bad this draft looks, we actually did okay. Of course, Cleveland had Sam Cash handed to them. He's going to be phenomenal. He is going to be phenomenal. I mean, Cleveland just ending up with a lot of project players, and that looks to be the sign of success. I mean, you can get a C potential guy. Like, this looked like a bad draft. Bill Ullman to Kansas City. That's a damn good pick. Roman's not bad. Atkinson's terrible. That age, that overall. Soda! Minnesota, you blew it. You blew it. Oh, my God. You know, I'm glad we didn't have a high pick in this draft. I'm glad we didn't have a high pick in this draft. Because the chances of missing and absolutely screwing it up were incredibly high. I did want that first baseman, but again, he went 10 picks before. 74 at 19 is amazing. Damn. Damn. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, look at how many D potential guys there are. This was... Even Rocco Ross, he wasn't all that great. He's okay for a C potential. This was... Ripley, I would agree. I think this is the worst draft we've seen so far. Just in terms of talent available, this was pretty bad. Like I said, there's some good players here and there, but they are exceptions rather than the rule. Damn. Good pick for the Marlins there. Hans Garcia. The Mets got it right with that catcher that they reached for second overall. They got it right at least. Didn't get anything else. Honestly, for a player to hit their potential. I mean, players can have pretty drastic development. It can be pretty slow. I mean, it does depend on their potential. But in terms of like, oh, is he guaranteed to hit an 89 because that's his actual potential? No. Bobby Bonilla. Oh my God. Shout out to Bobby Bonilla. God, that is beautiful. That's incredible. I love it so much. I love it so much. Washington, Omar Asensio, Justin Johnson. This was, yeah, I mean, look at the Cubs. Look at the Cubs. Cincinnati's first overall pick. Cincinnati's draft in general. Damn. Milwaukee got Valito, who we did like. They also took Sean Welburn. He would have been the guy to choose. We got a decent closer, turns out. Again, and I was going to take Sean Welburn, but we couldn't afford him. So our scouts were right about Sean Welburn. I just couldn't pay him. We didn't have the money. So that's kind of a kick in the balls that we would have gotten an amazing player, but he wouldn't have signed here. I couldn't pay him. What a real piece of Schmidt. Pittsburgh got with their first pick, and yep, this was easily the worst draft. Easily, top to bottom around the league, the worst draft yet. Damn. Again, if there was ever going to be a draft that have given up a pick and so on and so forth, this was the one. Like, a couple of teams did okay, but for the most part, it's like, oh, well, this guy's a good C potential. Like, again, it's shout out to Jesse Fishman. Crash, I did not. Dodgers, couple decent options, but nothing too crazy. Even that guy, I mean, is a 63 at 22. Well done, Crash. This was a bad draft. This was a real bad draft. I sincerely love that there's a handful of teams who are just absolutely fucking pathetic at drafting. It's pretty fun. Not fun to be one of them. How much? So each player has their own asking price in terms of our allotment. To be honest, I'm not sure exactly how that is defined. If I'm being 100% honest with you, it might be based off of the success and like where you were last season, so on and so forth. Let me know if I'm wrong.